We have seen the future of basketball, and its name is Victor Wembanyama. If this guy winds up having an unbelievable career, we will always remember last night as the night it began. In Phoenix against Devin Booker and KD and the Suns. Just look at this kid run the floor at 7'4", 7'5", whatever he is. Unstoppable in the lane. Little lay-in, I don't even know what to call that. Yeah, the Spurs were up 19 points after one, but he was just getting started. Trey Jones throwing it up. Wembanyama putting it down. So that stuff is easy to expect. But watch the kid's range. Look how silky this is. Knocking down the three. And then, Bart, this next one is my favorite play. Watch him step into a three in the final seconds of the half.
Listen, this is rarefied air right here. We've never seen anybody this talented before. I know Shaq wanted to put Bobo in that same breath, but Bobo's on the bench watching.
He had 20 points, Wembanyama did, at halftime. And then it's Devin Booker bringing the Suns back in the fourth quarter. He had 31 points, 13 assists. Kevin Durant, he had 28. Suns had been down as many as 27. They cut it to 1. And then in the final 5 minutes, off nice ball movement, they tie the game at 116. So you figure there's no way San Antonio on the road against this really good team is going to hold on. Yes, they do, because Wembanyama would score 10 of their final 12 points. Watch him getting hot, inside, outside.
It's a double.
It's ridiculous. Wembanyama, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and in the end, they find a way to win the game. Brian Windhorst and Monica McNutt are up with us early this morning. You know, Windy, you spent all that time in Paris telling me just how special this kid was going to be. Last night, I got to see it for myself. How would you describe it? We may be having some trouble. Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Wendy.
And that we've never seen anybody in the history of the game who is this big and this skilled. The combination of those two factors is huge at both ends. And probably the most impressive thing about this, their leading scorer, Devin Vassell, was out for the second half with a groin injury. Greg Popovich called his last time out with 6 minutes to go. He's on the road, under assault by a great team, and he holds through, shows poise to carry his team to victory. This is unbelievable stuff for the 5th game of his career.
Monica, what impressed you the most? Everything was on display last night. What stood out the most to you?
Tie ball game, Greeny. 116, 4 minutes, 12 seconds to go. And Victor goes on and scores 10 out of the next dozen points that the Spurs would score. I think for me, it's being able to perform when the game's lights were the brightest and literally the clutchest moments of the ball game. We could marvel at guys' ability to score and run up stats and all that stuff and it be kind of empty. But this is 2 consecutive wins, hard-fought wins over a Phoenix Suns squad that we expect to contend for a title this year. So I think his ability to understand the magnitude of the moment is the thing that I took away.
Now, what we showed a lot of in the highlight there was his offense last night. But, Wendy, you told me that he would step onto the floor in his first game as one of the league's best defensive players. And we can show some of that as well. That was also on full display.
Yeah, statistically, even though the Spurs have not been a good defensive team, he's been one of the best on-ball defenders in the league thus far. You can't get a basket on him at the rim. The opponents are shooting about 20% heads up at him, man on man. He has been awesome, and he's only going to get better because he's having some issues with some foul trouble. He'll learn as he goes along.
And Monica, what are people around the league saying as he's going to now start? I mean, everyone is watching. All these players are seeing it. They're going to hear the hype. What are these players going to do with him?
I mean, a promise fulfilled in many ways, right? Like, think back to the draft as we prepare for that. You had guys like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James, who were talking about the uniqueness of this young man. I think for it to come to fruition in such a big way versus one of his role models in Kevin Durant, just 5 games into his career, only solidifies that we should buckle up.